tilted her head to one side, furrowed her eyebrows, and frowned slightly. When she was satisfied that she had pulled it off, she moved on to the next poster. The Manic Marmoset Invasion. It showed a young lab assistant watching helplessly as the handsome scientist battled a ferocious monkey with wild red eyes and sharp fangs. This one was a bit trickier. Worry. Halle turned back to the mirror and opened her eyes wide. She slanted her eyebrows toward the center of her forehead and experimented, raising them a little higher and then a little lower again until, finally, they were at just the right spot. Next was one of her favorites, damsel in distress. It wasn't just a facial expression, it was an all-out feint. In the poster for Swamp Devil of the Deep, a bathing suit-clad beachgoer lay passed out in the arms of a slimy green monster. Halle placed one hand over her heart, fanned herself with the other, and swooned. She closed her eyes, buckled her knees, and collapsed in a lifeless heap onto the rug. After a dramatic pause of at least 7 seconds, she opened her eyes and sat up again. Her performance had been perfect. She'd even remembered to keep her eyeballs completely still under her eyelids. As she gazed around the room for another scream queen to imitate, her eyes landed on the vintage poster hanging directly over her bed. It was Raven Rose, the mighty demon huntress. She stood tall and straight, with one foot resting atop an enormous slain beast. A gleaming ruby-encrusted dagger hung from her belt, and her smooth, jet-black hair blew dramatically to the side. Cuts and dirt covered her skin, but she was proud and defiant. Halle studied her face. Raven Rose's chin jutted forward, and the hint of a smile spread across her lips. One sculpted eyebrow arched slightly higher than the other. This was no damsel in distress. Raven Rose had confidence. She had bravery. She had pluck. This was an honest-to-goodness, save-the-world heroine. Halle got up, placed her hands on her hips, and rested one foot on a large stuffed panda bear that was lying on the floor. Her hair was dark like Raven Rose's, though definitely not as sleek and shiny as the demon huntress's. Halle was taller than most 12-year-olds, though, which was at least something. She straightened her back and squared her shoulders, emulating the heroine pose. But as she thrust her chin forward the way Raven Rose did, she lost her balance and teetered backward, crashing into the dresser. "Ow!" she said, rubbing her bony backside where a bruise would surely appear soon. It looked like she'd be sticking with damsel in distress for now. "Halle!" her mother bellowed from the kitchen. Halle sighed and shuffled out of the bedroom. "Coming, Mom!" Halle's mother and Aunt Rona were clearing their plates from the table when Halle entered the kitchen. Halle dropped a slice of bread into the toaster and heated a pan for scrambled eggs. Aunt Rona handed her a drink. "Warm honey water. If you keep screaming like that, you're going to hurt your throat." "Thanks." She took 3 big gulps and then set the glass on the table. Aunt Rona grinned and raised her eyebrows. "I heard Maximus Price is back in town this week. Better make sure those flowers look extra nice today." "The flowers always look nice, whether he's home or not," Halle said. "You know I take my work very seriously." She poured the eggs into the pan and stirred them around with a spatula. At the mention of Maximus Price, however, a funny feeling squirmed in her stomach, like wriggling worms were having a party inside her. Her mom filled the sink with soapy water. "Well, if you don't hurry up with your breakfast, Lenny will have to deliver one of my arrangements to Price Manor." Aunt Rona chuckled and shook her head. "No offense, but your flowers are much too cheerful for Maximus Price. They're fine for weddings and Easter Sundays, but not for the most famous horror movie maker of all time, the creator of the Mutant Mole Man, the Firecracken, and Raven Rose. That weekly flower arrangement is Halle's job. She's the only one who can do it." Halle smirked, and the word